Hey, what is up, gamers? Enforcer5150 here, and we're back to go ahead and check out Diablo 4 and the NVIDIA App's Override feature that they give you. Now, why am I choosing this one? Because Diablo 4 definitely has all the check marks and things that we want to use. Now, we're running on the RTX 4080 with the i7-14700K, and the 4080 definitely doesn't have as much power or whatever as our new 50 series might have as far as the multi frame generation. But if we go ahead and look at Diablo 4, and I thought I had it up here, my apologies. All right, you can see it has the NV, NVU, NVT, and I'll go ahead and put up this here so you can see what they actually mean. So as you see, the MV for here is our multi-gen. We have DLSS frame generation with the upgraded model. We also have the DLSS super resolution, which also uses the upgraded model with the app. And then we have DLAA. Now, I feel like a broken record here because we did go through this in the last few videos. But if you have just a check mark on your game, just like the ray tracing here, you're not going to have an override feature. It's not going to be in the app. So it may say unsupported. There are some games that have the check mark and it's still letting you actually use it in the app, which that's not how it's supposed to work. But NVIDIA has ways to go. But I just want to look here at the part where it says, and I keep bringing this up, that in the table, check mark denotes that a game or app has native support for DLSS feature. Now that means that you do not need to use the override to have it. And most likely you'll have unsupported or something like that in your game or in your app when you try to go to this part here. And if it does have the MV section, which has like NVU for frame generation, or the let's see, the DLAA, which we'll be using in this video. We'll also try some high frame rates just to get everything evened out, because I have to check to see how much frames you'd actually lose. But anyway, in the DLAA column, T denotes that DLAA can be activated via the NVIDIA App Override. So that means you'll only be able to use it if you have the override. Now the game has DLAA, but to use the upgraded model, you need to use the app. And now if you see unsupported in, say, this game that obviously has the MV on it, then you need to reinstall your NVIDIA app. If you reinstall the NVIDIA app and then go ahead and refresh this, you should be able to see it pop up. There's been also times where you need to actually open up the game and enable the certain feature that you want, such as super resolution, and put it on like ultra performance. And then when you come back, you can go ahead and refresh and it should pop up, or you may need to reinstall the app. They have a lot of work to do on the app. It's, my opinion, it's still beta, but they went ahead and released it. I don't know why. I personally enjoyed GeForce Experience a little better than the app. Anyway, moving on. Right now we have everything set as normal. Like, you can go ahead and change this to latest for your frame generation. We'll be using frame generation in this video because we're going to be using DLAA. Now with super resolution here, you can set this to latest, but now remember that you use your super resolution here, which will also set the preset models. But here, you'll only be able to set to 100% or 33%. The DLAA or ultra performance are the primary ones that you'll be able to use. Now, I'm going to keep this at normal resolution. We're going to go into the game, check it out a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and turn on the upgraded model and do a little bit of comparison, as well as I'll be using Afterburner to check out some of the differences. So let's go ahead and open up the game. All right, we have our Afterburner up. Now with the 4080 in DLAA and frame generation is on, we will not remain over 60 FPS. It's just not possible with this card in 4K. I will probably do a check with Ultra, but on 1440p, or we'll try this on 1440p as well. But yeah, it is currently nighttime, which I was doing some of these in the day. We're just going to go through. Now, I just need to mention, I do not play that much Diablo 4 at all. I'm not too much into top-down games, but if we're looking here, one thing I definitely notice is a little bit of ghosting, like on this, let's see, right here, we can definitely see a little bit of ghosting. So, I mean, it's not bad, and there is a little bit of extra flicker because we have, you know, frame generation on. But we're going to go ahead and go in here. You can see we're already under 60 FPS. Now, I went in and checked this out a little bit while we were in the daytime, and we definitely get different FPS in the day than we do at night. But like flames and stuff like that, oh man, yeah, we're definitely jumping down to like 50 frames per second. And now I have my VSync off, and I did that on purpose because I want to, you know, try this in 1440p or ultra performance so that we can actually see. But looking at like my weapons and everything, anything that I shoot, I should say, it kind of looks weird. Everything's a little flickery. And one of the reasons is being under 60 FPS. But I wanted to make sure we got all the frames so you can see all the frames, because when I go over, my capture card can only capture, you know, 60 of them frames. Unless I go to 144 capture, which that is a lot. And then still, I can only export it at 60 to YouTube. But yeah, a lot of these things definitely don't look right in frame gen and DLAA, because yeah, it's just not. It's trying to regenerate everything, but it does look good. It still looks good, and I didn't use it that much. I preferred DLSS, because if you have played this game and if you play around other people that are, you know, running spells and doing things, you're gonna drop down a lot more. So just remember that in here, we're definitely getting more frames that we would in like during a boss fight or something like that, with multiple other people running them spells, all them effects. But yeah, being under 60 is definitely not my favorite position in any game. Some people, it's fine. You know, they'll run at 30 like a console, and I can't do it. But I'm glad that consoles are starting to actually catch up to the times as well. All right, we're just going to go that far in. Now we're going to start heading back. We don't have anything to blow up. We're going to start heading back. We're getting like, you know, 58 on average. And that's because of how much FPS we got outside as well. But we definitely want to check out some of the new features with the transformer model and see how much better it may look. So let's see. I see the ghosting, but it's not terrible, because that, yeah, Diablo definitely had some work that they had done on it to make sure that, you know, it's a little bit more upgraded or compatible, I should say, with NVIDIA DLSS and everything. But yeah, see, there's the ghosting isn't so bad there now, but you can definitely see it on some of the other spots. All right, we're gonna go ahead and now enable the new DLSS or DLAA features. All right, and now to enable our DLSS or DLAA, we're going to go ahead and just put it on latest for all DLSS technologies. And then our super resolution, we're going to go ahead and put it on DLAA and put that on 100%. Yeah, definitely like a 4080, 1440p would probably be the way you want to go if you want to remain over 60 FPS on Diablo 4, because 4K definitely takes a toll on your GPU. All right, we are back, resetting my benchmark. And yeah, out here, we're getting around the same FPS that we were getting. But first thing I noticed right away, We did not have these guys out here last time. Definitely what I'm noticing is I'm not seeing as much of the flicker that I was seeing before. Remember, we have frame gen. Well, we get a little bit around some of the spells there. But stuff like that, yeah, not as much. And see if we see some of the ghosting. It doesn't have as much of the ghosting. Like I said, I was looking around here. You know, it definitely fixes that ghosting issue that we were seeing before. But we're going to go ahead and get in here. We still have some of that flicker. Like I said, some of it is because we're under 60 FPS. And that's why I kind of wanted to turn off my VSync and everything so we could try also some higher frames. But yeah, I think it's the ghosting that is kind of corrected. It definitely seems a bit sharper. Less flicker in the frame gen. The flicker is mostly the frame generation. Like now, when you're using frame generation, you kind of want to already be over 60 FPS. So trying to just get the fluidity is not always the best reason to use frame generation. Or to get over 60 FPS is not always the best reason, sorry. But as you can see, we are getting a little better performance in some spots, but very much the same. And remember, we're in 4K, so we're kind of limited by, we're just hardware bound on the GPU. You can see I'm 100% on my GPU. But no matter what, it's not going to get any more than that unless I, overclock my GPU a bit, which I do not have it overclocked right now. That's why you said 1775 is the default. 28 is usually what I would see for my overclock. 2880. So if you ever see 2880, that means I overclocked my GPU. All right, and this is about how far we went in before, if I remember correctly. And we're losing a little bit of FPS, but yeah, it's very much in line with what we were seeing before. But stuff like that, it definitely looks better. I'll go ahead and grab that. Oh, I'm out of space. Oh well. I'm not really worried about the gear. I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, my main thing is like there's no flicker whenever I fire. And we definitely saw that in the first one when we were using the native. So they definitely fixed it. I do think they did a great job with the transformer models and DLSS. So let's go ahead and just head back out. Yeah, I can't get any of this stuff. I probably have some junk I could get rid of, but like I said, I'm really not that worried about it right now. Let's go ahead and go back outside. Yeah, I'm not seeing much ghosting at all. I mean, there is a little bit, like the flames, if I stay still, looks great. If I move around a bit, you can kind of see that frame generation is trying to kick in. But yeah, there we go. 57 on average. That is about what we were seeing before, which is great. So we're not really losing too much here. So we're more or less, GPU bound. And I think we'll need to go ahead and try either ultra performance or 1440p. I think we'll try 1440p. All right, we are now in 1440p. You can kind of tell by how large my afterburner is. But if we go ahead and look at our game settings here, I put it back to normal. We're not using the new transformer model. We're still on DLAA and frame generation on. Everything is maxed out, including ray tracing and everything. So I know I should have probably went through that before. I do apologize, but I do not have VSync on. So if you see any tearing, that is why you'll see that. Because if I go over 144 in the other way, it will look kind of weird. But we're gonna go ahead and do kind of the same thing we did before. We do have guys here again. We should be able to stay. Oh, I kind of want that. We should be able to stay over 60 FPS. And as you can see a little bit on that, I think there is a little bit of ghosting. In 1440p, I'm not noticing it too much, but it's not too bad. And this is the non-transformer model, as I was saying. Yeah, 160 for our max FPS. That is definitely good. 80s, 90s, definitely a good gaming experience. But as you are not seeing the full FPS because, you know, I can only upload this at 60 and recording at currently at 60. And it's going to be every time you go in this cave, it's different. So it's not different, but you're walking in a different way. It's really confusing to me. Go ahead and get into the bulk of this. Ooh, dang, yeah, we're already jumping under 60 FPS in the new model. Interesting. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not very good at this game. I don't play that often. Yeah, but I have my friends definitely, especially Raven420. If you've seen any of my other videos, he is very much into this game. Any game like this, he's playing POE 2 as well. Which I was thinking of doing one on that, but I haven't played it at all, so I would be at the very, very beginning of everything. But yeah, I kind of want to stick to about how much we were doing before. Get you over here. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing some of the ghosting and flickering on whenever I fire, which we were not seeing in the new Transformer model. Alright, this is about where we will go and then come back. But yeah, you can see we definitely dropped down quite a bit. And now, yeah, remember, it's going to drop down even more when you're with a lot of people. So if you're doing a boss fight or something like that, expect it to drop another, you know, 10 frames per second. So you'll probably go down to like 40 or something like that. So DLAA may not be the best option for the 4080. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go back and just, you know, take a quick look at everything around. And the fire is actually not doing that bad in 1440p. Before it seemed like it was flickering a bit, and now it's not. And we are on the older model. At least we better be. I'll double check when we get back out. But yeah. Because I do see some of the ghosting in, you know, like firing, but it's not as much as we saw in 4K. But like I said, a lot of that had also to do with being under 60 FPS. So let's see if we can get back out of this place. I just want to make sure that we get kind of the same amount to get somewhat of an accurate benchmark. All right, yeah, I realized I was going the wrong way, and we're heading back the right way now. We just want to take a look back outside. Hopefully it's not daytime yet, because that will change how much FPS we will get. It's starting to get closer. It's to the morning time. But yeah, I do not see as much of the ghosting as we were seeing in 4K. So definitely worth going on here. All right, we have 86, 87 as our average, and we will jump on out and switch to the new model, and I'll definitely double check, make sure we're using the new model. All right, so we now have the new model going. I'm gonna reset my benchmark here, and we lose a little bit of FPS in the beginning here, not that much, but it's starting to get lighter out, and that is going to affect everything, because at night, oh, we didn't get anybody out here. Let's grab somebody. So I want to have a little bit of a fight out here as well. That's not going to happen, it seems like. Yeah, we won't change it up too much here. Let's go ahead and check down this way. And yeah, I don't see any ghosting at all now with the new Transformer model. And we're in 1440p, so we're getting more frames. Obviously you can't see them on the recording because I'm only recording at 60. I can record up to 144 with the AverMedia Live Gamer 4K. but it is such a pain because you still can only upload at 60, so it's kind of pointless. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get in here, see how much better we may do. Try to get in there. I'm not seeing a lot of change in FPS. You obviously get a little bit more. Everything is cleaner though. Cleaner than on the 1440, or not, cleaner than the non-transformer model. And DLAA is already really high resolution. Basically a TAA that has just bumped up and sharpened all the heck. Not bad, not bad. We're actually getting more FPS, which I was actually expecting to get less. I should probably try to use some of the same spells. Yeah, I think our lowest has been 68. I don't have my minimum FPS on. I tend to keep that off because a lot of times it'll end up being like 0 or 1 when I'm like loading in or something like that. All right, this would be already past where we went last time. So I'm pretty impressed that we're getting some more FPS out of this. Well, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But I think this is, you know, where we were. And maybe I need to get myself lost again too. But 88, yeah, that is definitely more than what we were seeing before. I'm just gonna kind of slightly get myself lost. Yeah, 88, 89, and I can't remember what we were at before, but I'll put it on screen. Yeah, this looks really freaking good, and in 1440p, I think even during boss fights, we might be able to somewhat stay over 60 FPS with the newer model here. That is pretty good. All right, and I think in this one we'll do DLAA. Maybe if there's any interest for it, we can do another video and put it at 4K. Not 4K, but ultra performance and 4K, and see what we might get on there. But I don't want to have these videos go too long. Definitely don't want to bore y'all. But yeah, 91, or well, we were at like 82 when we came out, or 88 when we came out. Pretty freaking good, if you ask me. I'm kind of impressed with the DLAA on the newer model and in Diablo 4. Unlike Wukong, Black Myth Wukong, there was a lot of problems, but we were also using ultra performance, and DLAA is almost impossible in there unless we do the 1440p. Because right now we're at 1440p, and we're getting some good frames. Anyway, that's all we're gonna do for this video today. Make sure you hit that like button, definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel. Y'all take care, and happy gaming.